two. We are recording in one. All right, welcome everyone. My name's Abel, Prieto, coming to you live from Miami, Florida. We do these webinars every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Miami time. Check your local listings. But every week it's the same bat time, same bat channel. That's a Batman reference. I don't know if you guys know that one, but we know it here. And in case you miss it, then you might be watching it on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel. Turn on the notifications. Give us some likes on some of the videos. Every training that we do in English and in Spanish every week is recorded on our YouTube channel. And today, I've got a simple but very important message for you guys. And I've got a couple questions for you. But before I do that, just want to let you know that this Sunday, we're going to have an event in Tampa, Florida. So make sure to plug in if you're in the Florida area. Miguel, I'm assuming you're going to be there. I'd love to see you there. We're going to have some of our leaders in Tampa putting on an event. They invited me to speak at this event. I can't wait to be in Tampa, Florida. It's a beautiful part of the states of Florida. And it's about a 5-hour drive from where I am now. And it's fun. I like doing those drives to Orlando, Florida, which is about 3 hours. Tampa is about 5 hours. I get to kind of like, just be with myself for a while. I'm on the phone a lot, trying not to text while I drive, but communicating with people. But this Sunday, make sure if you can make it to the Tampa, Florida event, be there. Or if you've got people, make sure to make it. Make sure that they know about the event and make sure that they make it to Tampa, Florida this Sunday. And, I've got a couple thoughts for you. And, one of the things that I want you to realize is what a great business we're in. This morning I had an 8 a.m. appointment to get the car serviced. And, for most people, getting your car serviced is a big old fat waste of time. It's a nothing burger. But what a great business we're in. I dropped off my car, and then as soon as I dropped it off, I went across the street, went to a little Cuban cafe, ordered myself a bistec a caballo. Bistec a caballo is interesting. It's a steak with eggs. It's steak and eggs. But bistec a caballo is actually steak on a horse. It's the direct translation. But it's, 2 fried eggs on top of a steak, but it's a palomilla steak. And a palomilla steak is not like the steak that Americans are used to eating. Maybe you're used to, which are normally thick steaks. Palomilla steaks are very thin steaks, very thin, very juicy, very flavorful, lots of, nice spices in there. I went in there, set up my laptop, had my phone, had my internet, and I got to work. And although they were working on my car for about 2.5 hours, it was time to get the maintenance done, the oil change, and all that good stuff. I was able to take advantage of that time, and it was just like if I was at home. I don't skip a beat, and that's the business that you and I are in, and we have to take advantage of that business. We've been given this gift, and today I want to open your mind and make you realize the gift that you've been given, that you and I have been given, which is the In-Cruises business opportunity. What a great opportunity it is, where you can go get your car serviced, and instead of losing 2 hours, or maybe like a lot of people do, they get on their phone, they're on Instagram, wasting time, scrolling up and down, or they're on Facebook, or they're on TikTok or Snapchat, just wasting time. Those 2 hours were super productive for me. That's the business that we're in. And we have to really take advantage of that gift. And today I want to give you some tips to make sure that you have the right mindset and the right actions so that you can get the most out of this incredible vehicle, this Ferrari, this Lamborghini, this Rolls Royce, this Bentley, this Aston Martin that we've been given, which is the In-Cruises business opportunity. And my question to you is, how do you react to adversity? I want you to ask yourself that. How do I react to adversity? I want to give you some tips that I've been able to apply to my life that has put me in the position that I'm in now. You guys know the numbers, 30,000 partners in my organization, 60,000 members. I grow my team, or the team grows by about 2,000. I don't grow my team. That's the team growing. It's people bringing people, which is the key to network marketing. Frank, I remember years ago in our prior business, I went to Frank and I'm like, what's the key? He goes, Abel, it's people bringing people that bring people that bring people. And when you've got that going, life is good. You're making money. You're excited. You're working with new people. People are getting promoted. You're you're producing, you're ranking up. But when you do the opposite, which is no people bringing no people, then it's not exciting. So adversity hits you. And then that's my question to you today. How do you react to adversity? And I want to give you some tips, ask you some questions to kind of make you self-analyze, to analyze yourself, to do a self-analysis, to see where it is that you can get better, questions that you can ask yourself, mindsets that you have to have in place that have helped me put myself in a situation where I'm making $20,000 a month plus as much as $50,000 a month at one point, whether I show up or not. That gives me the liberty and the freedom to drive a nice car, to pay my bills without really thinking about it, to do nice things, to travel, to have a place in Spain, to be able to be in Miami half the year, the other half of the year I'm somewhere else, to be able to, help my family, help my mom, help my kids, and to be able to, live a great life, which is maybe that's what you want. So I want to tell you what I've learned, and then I want to tell you also what I've learned from the top leaders. And one of the things that top leaders do is, number one, I hope you're writing this down. So first of all, I hope you wrote down that first question. How do I react when adversity hits? The key, what did Frank tell me was the key to a successful business? People bringing people that bring people that bring people that bring people. When you can develop a system, and we have a system, and you put those people in the right environment, this is part of that environment. Webinars, Sunday in Tampa, that's part of the environment. The meetings that you do with your people, the WhatsApp groups, that's part of the environment. The webinars that the company puts on for us for free, that's part of the environment. Are you plugging in? And when you put people in the right environment and you're plugging into the system and you're staying close to the campfire like Radar taught me, and you're bringing people that bring people that bring people, and you're keeping it simple. And when you recruit someone, you do the presentation for them, and then you teach them how to close, and then you teach them how to do a presentation and how to focus that and how to do it in a simple, duplicable process. Then you've got people bringing people. That's it. And when you focus your brand new person on getting to membership free and help other people become membership free, did you know that you can build an incredible business by going to get 5 and helping those 5 get 5 and helping those 25 get 5? Do the numbers 4 or 5 or 6 levels down, and you're a board of directors. Do the numbers with me. You go get 5, that's 5. Those 5 get 5, that's 25 more, that's 30. Those 25 go get 5, that's 125 more people. Those 125 get their 5. Why? Because you got them focused. You're on top of them. You're making their list. You're making sure they put you in front of people. You're doing presentations. Yeah, you're going to do the work. Getting rich ain't easy. It ain't supposed to be. If it was easy, everyone would do it, and then it wouldn't be something you can get rich off of. When a lot of people could do something, it pays less. When very few people could do something, it pays more. Look at doctors, look at engineers, look at attorneys. They're willing to do what you and I are not even capable or willing to do. That's why they get paid a lot of money in the world of entrepreneurship. It's the same. If we're willing, I was willing to do something maybe that you're not willing to do, or maybe you haven't done yet, that's why they pay me what they pay me. Jonathan Diaz gets paid even more because he did more of that something. What is that something? We tell you every week. You just got to go do it. But when that isn't happening, my question to you is, how do you react to adversity? How do you react to adversity? One of the key ingredients to success for Frank Godina, for myself, for the board of directors in the company is the way they react. How do they act when they're not making money? How do you react to change? How do you react to adversity? Are you stuck in the past, or are you future focused? Do you wish things would get easier, or do you wish that you were better? Do you focus on things you can control, or do you choose to focus on things and people that you can't control? Start where you stand. You have to start where you stand. But when life hits you, when adversity hits you, when for some reason, because you got off focus, because you didn't keep it simple, because You got distracted. How do you react to adversity? How do I react to adversity? One of the key ingredients that I've seen all the big leaders in our company, and then any network marketing company out there, including the one that Frank and I came from, is the way they act when they're not making money. What do they do when they don't feel like doing it? You see, because when you're making money, when your team is growing, when your team's ranking up, when you're ranking up, damn, it's easy to smile and feel good and do the work. But these people, before they became successful, just like you, they were just like you. They were just like you. They went through tough times. But it's the way they acted and reacted and responded to those tough times that made a difference. It's when they met that moment where they're supposed to do something and they don't feel like it. I told you last week, one of my mentors, Frank Codina's upline at our past company, he always used to say this: Abel, remember, winning has nothing to do with how you feel, but everything to do with what you do when you don't feel like it. He said, Abel, there are many times where I didn't feel like doing it. And the person that doesn't win, we're not going to call him a loser, we're going to tell him someone that doesn't win, when they confront that moment, they don't do what they got to do. And Antonio Martinez, Jonathan Diaz, gets confronted with that same moment, and as opposed to making the wrong decision, they find it within themselves to make the right decision. And they move their business forward just a little bit. All it takes is this much. The difference between winning and losing is this much. This much. It's not this much. It's not this much. It's this much. The difference between winning and losing is so small, I'm scared to talk about it. I remember the founder of my prior company where I started network marketing when I was 20 years old, working with Frank. At the beginning, and I had, that company had been around for about 20 years when I got in. And, but he used to talk about this speech that he used to give to his initial group of people, right? And his speech was not a very motivational speech, but it was, because it motivated me when I heard it. The speech he would give was, hey guys, the chances of us making it are this much, but if we do, it's going to be great. You see, the chances of you making it is this much. But if you do, it's going to be great. The chances of Abel Prieto making it in cruises were this much. But I did, and it's great. The chances of Jonathan Diaz, of Antonio Martinez, of Jorge Torres, the chances of those young kids, specifically talking about Antonio and Jorge who were in their 20s, the chances of them making it were this big. But if they did, it was going to be great. And they did. And it is great. Why? Because when they got confronted with that moment, which is what I call the definition of discipline, doing what you have to do when you have to do it. Giving up something you like, whether it's sleeping, watching cable, watching Netflix, chilling, going out for a drink, scrolling, without a brain on the internet. When it comes to that moment, when they reach that moment, they give up something they like to do because they know that if they do this other thing, they're going to be able to have something they love. Discipline is nothing more than doing what you have to do when you have to do it. Discipline is nothing more than giving up something you like for something you love. Discipline is when you meet that moment that you and I meet with every day, that moment. How do you react? How do you act, react, respond when adversity hits you? When the people aren't bringing people, when you're not making money? That's the difference between winning and losing in the world of entrepreneurship. That's the difference. All you got to do is make better decisions. All you got to do is, I'm telling you, that's what they've done. They've had the same challenges, the same problems. They've had to grow. They've had to grow as people, as leaders. They've had to give presentations. They've had to follow up. They'd have to do meetings. Sometimes no one would show up. Sometimes people would show up. The same challenges that you have, same challenges that I've had, that you've had. When they met that moment, they decided to react in a positive way. They decided to make the right decision. They decided to do what was a little bit tougher. And they did that so many times that they created the momentum that led them to a life that is a dream life for them today. That's what winners do. The two things that differentiate winners from losers is, number one, what they do when they don't feel like it. And number two, how they act when they're not making money. There's nothing tougher. I'm telling you, I've been there. When you're doing the work, when you're making a lot of the right decisions, but the money isn't there yet. What every great entrepreneur goes through, whether it be Frank Codina, Jonathan Diaz, or Elon Musk, when you're doing the work, you're paying the price, and the results aren't there yet. It's like a plant that's growing. It's doing most of its growth under the ground, and you're watering it, and you're taking care of it, and you're making sure and the plant doesn't grow. It's at that moment, when you're confronted with that moment, with that adversity, they decide to keep going while others don't. That is the difference between winning and losing. And it was at those moments when I wasn't making money, when the team wasn't growing, that I had to find it within me. Just like you got to find it within you. And you got to do what? You got to keep going. You got to keep going. Yeah, I know. The possibilities of you making it are this small. But if you do, it's going to be great. And at those moments is when I suggest you do this. Be grateful for what you have. Let me tell you, I've had very little and I've had a lot. And when I had very little, when I couldn't pay the bills, when I was barely making ends meet, when I couldn't do the fun things in life, when I wasn't traveling, when I was watching others have success, driving the cars that I wanted to drive, doing the travel that I wasn't traveling, when I was at those moments, that was when I was the most grateful. That was when every day I'd go in the shower. While I was in the shower, taking a shower, getting ready for an appointment, I do my gratitudes. I always had an attitude of gratitude. Thank you, God, for this hot water. Thank you for having running water. Thank you for the electricity in my house. Thank you for the fact that I have a roof over my head. Thank you for my parents. Thank you for my children. Thanks, for my health. Thanks for the clothes that I have, the closet that I'm looking at with clothes in it and shoes, several of them. And I was broke. But it's at that moment when you have to have the biggest attitude of gratitude. I have been more grateful to God when I've had little than when I've had a lot. You think, no, that doesn't make sense. When you have a lot, you're even more grateful. Man, it was at that moment. Those were the mental mindsets that I had to have to be able to live the life that I wanted to live. So how do you react to adversity? Let me tell you one other thing that differentiates winners from losers. Winners love their business. I love my business. Do you love your business? Or are you constantly looking for other opportunities? You got to love your business. Winners love their business. I believe we have the best product in the world. Is it perfect? No, nothing is. You're not perfect, and I'm not perfect. Frank Codina, Michael Hutchinson, they're not perfect. But I believe we've got the best product. We've got the greatest travel product in the world. We've got the greatest cruise ships. We've got the greatest hotels. We've got the greatest technology. We've got the greatest opportunity. We've got the greatest compensation plan. We've got the greatest team. We've got the greatest people. I love my business. Do you love your business? Even when you're not making money. What did I tell you? When adversity hits you, when I had little, that's when I was the most grateful. That's when I love my business the most. Do you love your business? The difference between winners and losers is winners love their business. Losers keep looking for other businesses to love. Like that old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. So I hope you're taking notes. So again, the less I had, the more grateful I was. Next point. Are you guys with me? Is this too much for you? Am I being too tough on you? I'm telling you, that's the difference. When you meet that moment and you don't feel like doing it, do you do it anyway? And then you build momentum until you get to a point where you don't have to do anything and the money keeps coming in. See, remember, in this business, you're going to go through 3 phases. Phase number 1 is you're going to be overworked and underpaid. No one wants to go through that. Overworked and underpaid? No. Most people come to our business with an employee mentality. What does an employee do? No matter what you do, you're going to get paid the same. Per hour, per week, per day, per month, whatever. You're an employee. You come in, you work hard, you get paid the same. You work less, you get paid the same, unless you're on commissions. But when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you're going to work a lot and you're not going to get paid. That's phase number 1. Overworked and underpaid. Who's excited about that phase? No one is. I hate that stage. I remember it. I hated it. But I kept making the right decisions. I kept being grateful for what I had, for the opportunity that I had. I kept saying, I don't care if I don't feel like doing this. I want to do it anyway because I want to get to the point where I don't do anything. I want to be like, I know Miguel is like me. We like to party. We like to have fun. We like to travel. We like the beach. We like the salt life. We like the ocean. We like the pool. We like the sun. We like drinks. We like other things. We're not going to get into all the details. But if I wanted that, I needed to do this. And it was how I acted when I wasn't making money that made the difference. So, where was I? I forgot what I was saying. Anyone know where I was? Stage number 1, you're going to be overworked and underpaid. Get used to it. Get ready for it. It's going to happen. Stage number 2, you're going to be worked and paid. Now you're going to start reaping some of the rewards. You're going to be doing the work, and damn, I'm making some bonuses. Damn, I'm ranking up. I'm not rich yet. And then stage number 3, that's where everyone wants to go, but you got to go through stage 1 and 2, where you're going to be underworked and overpaid. Who's excited about that stage? I am, but guess what? You got to start at stage 1. Remember this acronym. SAAR. SAR. SAAR. You got to work on your S, your skills. You got to work on your A, your attitude. You got to work on your second A, your actions or activities, so that you can have the fourth one, which is R, which is results. See, results is at the end. Most people want to start the other way around. They want to get started and boom, everyone they meet with, everyone they put on the list signs up and gets started and thinks increases is the greatest thing in the world. No, R is at the end. You don't start at results, you start at skills. You got to build your skills. How do you build your skills? Like this, and by getting to work. No, once I learn the business, Abel, then I'm going to do the business. No, you learn the business by doing the business. A lot of you are way too dependent on your upline. You got to own your business. You got to take ownership of your business. You're not an employee, you're a business owner. Don't treat this like a job because it's going to pay you like a job. Treat it like a business. You got to work on your skills. You got to work on your attitude. How do you work on your attitude, Abel? By being here, by reading the books, doing the right things. You got to work on the daily actions and activities. You know what those are, so that you can get the R, which is results. That's the way this thing works. You got to get good at working with people. Next point. Get good at working with people. How do you get good at working with people? Remember these 3 words. I actually learned this from Mike Hutchison Jr. the other day, of all people. The guy's a stud. He says you got to get good at the 3 C's. The 3 C's, write that down. When it comes to your team, when it comes to the people you interact with, when it comes to your team members, the people you're prospecting, when it comes to the people you're presenting to, get good at the 3 C's. Congratulate, compliment, and console. Congratulate, compliment, and console. Get good at congratulating people, making people feel special, recognizing people for their efforts. You know, Aniko just got a brand new partner member in her business. Congratulations, Aniko. Make people feel special. Congratulate people every chance you get, from little activities to big activities. Compliment people every chance you get. Every time I meet someone, I'm looking for something. I love your shoes. I love your hair. What a great smile you have. You know, I got to be careful, especially when you're dealing with a woman, right? Because they're going to take it the wrong way sometimes. But hey, you know, wow, what a great personality. I love your energy. Wow, you've got always, the second C, compliment. And number 3, console. When things go bad, console people. Be there in the good times and in the bad times. Remember, you got to do the numbers, but never treat people like a number. Never treat a person like a number. And lastly, I want to close with this. You guys getting this? Does this stuff make sense, or am I talking crap here? Does this stuff make sense? Let me know if this stuff makes sense. Two more points. 2 last points. Focus on what you can control, guys. You can control your attitude. You can control your activity. You can control your daily actions. You and I can control our schedule. You and I can control our thoughts, the way we think. You and I can control our mindset. You and I can control the goals that we have. You can't control the company. You can't control the product. You can't control the compensation plan. You can't control your team. Focus on what you can control. And lastly, I'm telling you, if you lived every day for a while, for the next 2, 3, or 4, or 5 years, like this, everything would change for you. Remember your wins and give yourself some credit. Show yourself some grace. Learn to forgive yourself when you don't make the right decision, when you're met with the moment. And at that moment, when you know you did something wrong, if you're going to beat yourself up, do it for a few seconds, because sometimes we got to feel it. But remember your wins. Remember the good moments. Remember the good things, the wins that you've had in your life. Give yourself some credit. Forgive yourself. Show yourself some grace and move forward. Remember the goals that you've accomplished. Don't beat yourself up for more than 5 seconds. The world does that enough. Remember how far you've come. Remember how special you are. Remember the people that you've helped with our product and with our business opportunity. And remember why you're here. And I'm telling you guys, if you live every day of your life with that type of mindset, the sky's the limit. It's not complicated. It's not complex. It's not scientific. It's not magical, and it's not mystical. It's numerical, and it's a game of your mindset. So I want to encourage you to go finish the month strong. You got 5 days left. Give it all you got. Go into the month of September with a lot of momentum, whether you hit your goals or not. Build momentum now. Don't wait till September. When you keep putting something off, your mind keeps saying it's probably not important. But when you do something now, your mind says, let's help them with that. Love you guys. Talk to you guys soon. And I look forward to seeing you on the beaches and the cruise ships of the world. Take care, everyone.